This is the Trans and Queer Jiu Jitsu tournament from Seattle earlier this month. I did compete this time, despite limping my way there, and as expected, I did lose all of my matches, but I made a lot of new friends. Some cool stuff that happened was Seattle's Snowblind, which is the only trans femme-owned BJJ gym that we know about, promoted one of their white belts after the tournament, which is awesome. Also, Alice from Chicago got handed her blue belt from the legendary Molly Reese, who is the most experienced trans femme black belt in the world. Molly is an amazing coach. She cornered several of the out-of-towners, which really does make this community feel like it's finally coming together. So that is 2 new blue belts for the trans femmes, which probably doesn't sound that impressive if you're in jiu-jitsu, but you have to understand that, like, when I got my blue belt back in 2018, I was the only one that we knew about in the world besides Chloe Moore, all the way over in London. So this is a big deal for the dolls. Most of us don't make it past white belt. We'll also be keeping an eye on June Cuervo from Southern California, who I do believe is still a white belt. She gave Alice some really good trouble and even beat her right there in the no-gi rounds. I also got to meet Cordelia Gregory from Atlanta for the first time, who, along with Carissa Griffiths, was a victim of the cyberbullying last year for competing in the general tournaments. The TERFs really didn't like that, led to this new wave of trans bans in jiu-jitsu. But the silver lining from that was that it pushed Gwen from Ballard to start hosting this semi-annual Seattle tournament, and now we're all meeting each other finally. We also saw some pretty cool matches from like Michelle Cronquist, Maren Kim, Mara Huynh. Obviously props to anybody and everybody who even stepped onto the mat. That is a huge hurdle in itself. As for the advanced bracket, the DC Maryland crew absolutely wiped the mats with us. I was submitted in all of my matches, and my teammate Lyriel only won, I think, once out of 8 matches or something. In our defense, we did not have youth on our side. We are Masters 2 and 3 respectively. Sabrina Brown was the star of the day. I'm looking forward to seeing her future fights. Sol Rios stood up well against Sabrina, though, to take silver. This is me going up against Sol, which I lost to an inverted heel hook, which I absolutely deserved. I was chasing her legs. I expect Sabrina and Sol are going to do great things, and if you're in DC, you can look up their new training group, which is now listed on the Traction Project class listing. Bringing honor back to the West Coast, though, Molly did defeat Sabrina in their super fight, defeated her very soundly. Molly has something like 20 years of experience over all of us, and it's always a treat to see her work. That was a twister right there. If you want to get in on this next time, start training now, and I will see you back in Seattle in the spring.